Okay, let us continue with our factoring. But before that, I'm going to give you another example of the PST or perfect square trinomial. Okay? So we could have 36 plus a squared. The middle term would be 6a, 12, 8. Okay. So you observe, if they are all positive, okay, the first term and the last term are perfect square. So you can factor this into two binomial factors. So get the square root of the first term, that is 6 and 6. Square root of the last term, that is a and a. Then follow the sign of the middle term, that is plus. Okay? Again, if we are going to multiply these two factors using the FOIL method, so first term to first term, that will give you back 36. You multiply the inner, that is plus 6a. Then multiply now the outer, that is another 6a. Then a times a will give you a squared. Adding all of this, and you get 6a plus 6a will give you 12a. And if we get the original product, okay, your factors are correct. Okay? So let us now proceed with the number 4 factoring method, that is factorable trinomial. So in this factorable trinomial, you're going to be given a trinomial which could not be classified as PST or perfect square trinomial, because one of those terms might not be a perfect square. For example, x squared plus 3x plus 2. Here, you're going to see that 2 is not a perfect square, but the first term is a perfect square. So what are you going to do here is to factor the first term. So first term could be factored as x and x. Get the factors of 2, which is only 1. You have 1 and 2. Then, get the sum of the trial product. What do I mean trial product? You multiply the inner, so that will give you x. Multiply the outer, that is 2 times x. And add up, if you get the middle term, which is 3x, so x plus 2x will give you 3x. If you get the middle term, then your factors will be correct. Okay? So this will be x plus 1 times x plus 2. These factors are correct. Okay? I'll give you another example. Say a squared minus 3a minus 10. Okay, 10 here is not a perfect square, so I'm sure that this could be classified as factorable trinomial. So again, we are going to have binomial factors here. So factor the first term, which is a squared, a and a. Then, what would be the factors of 10 that will give you 3? You have 5 and 2, isn't it? 5 minus 2 will give you 3. So 5, 2. Okay. Asan na ngayon ang negative? Kasi one of these will be negative. Okay? Negative times positive will give you negative. So, you check the sign of the middle term. If the sign of the middle term is negative, kailangan maging negative yung mas malaki factor. So, a minus 5 times a plus 2. Let us have a trial multiplication. So, negative 5 times a will give you negative 5a. 2 times a will give you 2a. Negative 5a plus 2a will give you negative 3a, which is the middle term. Okay? So, if you get the middle term correctly, then your factors are correct. Okay? That is factorable trinomial. Okay? So, next, factoring method. I'm going to erase this first. Is the sum and difference of two cubes. Okay. So example here is 8 cube plus b cube. Let's have a second example right away, that is because sum and difference. A cube minus b cube. Okay. To factor this one, you have two factors. You have one binomial factor and one trinomial factor. How are you going to get the binomial factor? Get the cube root of the first term, that is a cube, that is a. Cube root of the second term, that is b. Follow the sign of operation, that is plus. Then, to get the trinomial factor, you square this one, first term. So, a squared. Then, alternate the sign. This must be minus. Okay? Multiply the first term and second term, that will give you a, b. Then, plus. Get the square the last term, that is b squared. Okay. That's how you're going to get the trinomial factor of this sum of two cubes. Okay? Sum of two cubes. Okay. Pag difference naman, of course you have the binomial and trinomial factor still. Get the cube root of the first term, a. Follow the sign. Cube root of the second term. Square the first term, that is a squared, plus. You multiply ab plus. Square the last term, that is b squared. That's how we're going to factor sum and difference of two cubes. Let's have an example which have a number or a constant. Say x cubed minus 8. Okay. 8 is a perfect cube. So again, we are going to have the binomial and trinomial factors. Cube root of x cubed, x and cube root of x cubed, that is x. Cube root of 8, that is 2. Let us follow the sign, that is minus. You square this first term, x squared, plus. You multiply, that is 2 and x 2x. Square the last term, that will be 4. Okay? So these are the factors of this difference of two cubes. Okay? One more example. Say 8x cubed plus 27. Okay, 27 is a perfect cube. Okay, cube. Ang cube root niyan is 3. So, 8x cubed, that will give you 2x. Follow the sign. Cube root of 27, that will be 3. And for the trinomial factor, you square this one, that will be 4. Square of 2 is 4. X squared. Then minus. You multiply. 3 times 2x will give you 6x. Then plus square of the last term, which is 3, that will give you 9. Okay? So that is sum and difference of two cubes. May katay stop mo.